Hi, I'm Luka Jovanovic, a first year medical student, and welcome to the fourth episode of Lean and Aggressive. This is the cutting edge of health, wellness, medical, fitness, productivity, innovation, where I am the guinea pig with nothing to lose, and you are the viewer with everything to gain. If you're new here, follow me on Twitter, link in description. This is basically where I talk about getting clearer skin, leaner body, and sharper focus so you can outperform other people. I'm just going to talk about everything that worked this past week, what didn't, where I failed, what I read, what I learned, and I'm sharing that with you and what I'll be doing moving forward. Let's begin. Here's everything that didn't work this past week and what I'm learning from it. I had ice cream on Wednesday, lemon meringue. It was yummy. On Thursday night, this is last week. On Thursday night, I had this nice creamy pasta, homemade pasta, creamy though, loads of cream. And on both of those days, after I had the ice cream, after I had the pasta, creamy pasta that is, I could feel that food moving in me, bro. It's like it had its mind of its own, and it was just like eating me out from eating me from the inside out. Okay, it was weird. I didn't like it. I could feel it moving inside me. I started getting this gas and farting a bit. It was not pain, but I could feel it. I could feel this little weird creamy lactose lemon meringue ice cream baby moving around in my colon, and I didn't like it. Somewhat uncomfortable, somewhat difficult to manage. A little bit of gas, a little bit of ooh, ooh, ooh. I could feel them kicking. That was strange. And this immediately led me to believe that maybe I developed lactose intolerance because for the last year, 2 years, I've been avoiding dairy, a lot of dairy. It's got loads of vitamin A, which I don't believe to be as essential as we maybe need it, or as what's the word? As it's played out to be. And I avoided certain vitamin A foods, and I felt a lot better. My skin's improved, my rosacea, my keratosis pilaris, all these things have gotten better. I just went a little easy on the dairy, essentially, right? Because it was problematic for my skin, or at least I thought so. And so, from what I understand from my research, I might have developed a slight intolerance when it comes to dairy or lactose. And this is tricky because it caught me off guard, it caught me by surprise on Wednesday and Thursday night. And this is why I think fiber is the truth. This leads me to another point. I really find fiber really, really cool because fiber, it's not just, oh, yo, eat fiber for your gut, eat fiber so you can take a good poo at 5 in the morning. No, fiber is essential, at least in my understanding now, going back to this developing an intolerance to dairy out of nowhere thing. There's different kinds of fiber, right? I'm reading from my laptop here. There's resistant starch, there's pectin, there's soluble fermenting fiber, there's insoluble, and each different kind of fiber is doing a different kind of function in a different part of the colon of your gut. So there's slow fermenting ones, there's gelling ones, that feed the gut flora, the microbiome, all the little weird bacteria inside you, whether you like it or not. So I must have starved out some of the weird bacteria in my gut that digest lactose. Because I wasn't, if you don't use it, you lose it, kind of biological principle here. So I wasn't using it. I wasn't using that bacteria because I wasn't giving him work to do because I wasn't eating any dairy. So he must have died out, or I don't know, yeah, I didn't have him anymore. So now I came in with with work to do, but that guy, he timed out, like he retired, bro. So, which leads me to think that carnivore diet isn't actually that good because you're getting no fiber in. And it's like, yeah, dude, I'm pooing once a week. I only have one bowel movement a week, one stool a week. It's like this hard, like round dinosaur ass poo poo. And I don't think that's very healthy because I do think that the flora in our gut is very, very important. Digestion, maintaining tight junctions between epithelial, like this the cells in the gut, right? And if those junctions get weak, bile leaks in, leaky gut, SIBO, poor skin, a bunch of problems, right? So I think the flora, the bacteria, the microbiome inside our gut is very, very important. And if we aren't using it, we're losing it. So that's why I think carnivore and all these things that, or these diets that are excluding fiber, aren't, long term at least, aren't that effective, because we need these bacteria inside our gut. And if we aren't feeding them with fiber, with all these different kinds of soluble, insoluble, pectin, resistant starch, whatever, all these different fibers targeting different parts of the colon, of the gut, we're losing them. You know what I'm saying? So I have an aunt on carnivore. If she goes and eats an apple with a little bit of fiber, she's cooked. If she goes and eats a little bit of one bean with a little bit of soluble fiber there, she's cooked. The fiber is gonna nuke her, the same way it kind of nuked me with the dairy. So I am adding a little bit of dairy again, not milk though, with a bunch of lactose. I'm adding Greek yogurt. I'm adding kefir. If you can go raw, that would be pretty cool. I think it's just a bit easier to process because there's no pasteurization there. But for the most part, kefir and yogurt, or Greek yogurt, is a lot easier or tolerable, especially for me, because it has less lactose. There's less work to be done by the microbiome inside my gut, and it has its good bacteria of its own, which will just feed my flora. That's my fiber rant. Fiber's the truth. I want to do a lot more research into fiber and just see how we can get information from it. I'll be the guinea pig. I'll try it out. I want to start supplementing green banana flour. Oh, there's a bunch of different fibers I mentioned in the previous video, which I want to check out. But that'll be sick. I have another point on fiber later in the video, which I really want to talk on, because fiber sounds really cool. Heating the gut sounds really cool. And no, you don't have to eat some antimicrobial garlic, raw garlic, which is going to kill the flora in your gut to try and, here's your skin, heal your skin, bro. Like these gurus on Instagram Reels. Today I'm going to be eating raw ginger and raw garlic and raw onion. And they just cook their gut. And it's like, I eat this because it heals my gut. Like, no, bro, I don't think it works like that. Anyway, moving to the second point of what was bad this week, bro. I was sick. I was sick again. I see the boys with the camera out there trying to get a clip again. But I'm stumbling my words, man. I gotta think again. I saw the girl walk by, man. I gotta wink again. Okay. Double date, nah. I say, shorty, bring a friend. Okay. So I'm sick again. But I have a controversial opinion on sickness. When I think, these are all just my opinions, my beliefs. I'm learning as I go, bro. So if you disagree here, don't come after me, bro. These are just my beliefs, which I stand by. Anyway, sick again. I think when we're sick, I think it's not some weird virus inside of us which is destroying us, but I think it's just our body, at least for the most part. Okay, I'm learning. I'm a newbie. I don't know what HIV even is or what it stands for, low key. But I think when we have the cold and we start spitting out all this phlegm and this mucus and this saliva, or not saliva, and this snot and these boogers and everything, I think it's our body trying to get rid of some kind of toxin inside of us. When we have diarrhea, we might have eaten some weird food. Now we're trying to get rid of that thing, bruh, because it's toxic, and we're getting rid of it somehow. Now, if these things persist forever, okay, fine, let's go do medicine, whatever. But I think for the most part, it's just a natural detox from our body. So a few weeks ago, I cut out nickel, heavy metal nickel, from my diet. Foods that have high nickel are beans and oats and chocolate. And I've been a lot more conscious of my stainless steel material cookware that I'm coming into contact with. I switched to a glass water bottle to minimize my exposure to these heavy metals, things like that. And so my body started dumping nickel, getting rid of this nickel which was stored inside of me. And that was very difficult. Very sick, coughing loads, sneezing, phlegm, mucus, everything. But after 3-4 days, I got really good and I was healthy again. But now all of a sudden I'm getting sick again. Yesterday, today, 2 days ago, I got a little sick. And sick by the symptoms, I guess. So I've been coughing, I've been sneezing, I've been getting rid of the same mucus, not as bad as what it was the first time. But the problem is I don't know exactly what I changed, right? So when I cut out beans, immediately my body's like, the toxin intake stopped. So finally the toxic outtake could happen, right? So I stopped intoxing, so now I could finally detox. I'm detoxing now, but I don't know exactly what I stopped intoxing, which is challenging. But my whole stance on these heavy metals, also, before I elaborate on that, what I've noticed is when I take selenium supplement, I supplement zinc, picolinate, and selenium, about 150 micrograms a day, selenium. When I cough out phlegm, it tastes a lot like my selenium supplement. So immediately what I began to believe is that the selenium is binding to the nickel. And I don't know exactly how true that is. I know that based on my research, that selenium does bind to cadmium, to mercury, to arsenic, to these other heavy metals, which are very toxic, period. But when it comes to nickel, he's kind of just alleviating the damage that nickel does to your kidney, to your liver, to certain other organs and cells, and the lining of your gut, for example. So he kind of just repairs the damage done, but he doesn't. He's not the binder. He doesn't directly bind to it. So I don't know. I'm doing more research into that, but I have noticed that my phlegm does taste like my selenium supplement. So food for thought. And then my whole stance on metals. I was explaining it to my mom. Oh, and if you are wondering why all of a sudden I'm glowing and I look good and I got a collar on, because I'm back home for the holidays. Oh, man, do I love being back home. It's only a 2-week break, but I'll take it. You know, it's good enough. I'm very glad to be back home, eating good food, eating a bunch of biltong, eating cake. I'll explain the cake later. It's the cake's kind of okay. Just being back home with my family today, getting steps with my mom. I went for a walk with my mom and dad in the botanical garden today. And if you know them, or if you know us, we really aren't the walking type, so that was kind of fun. Very nice to get some sunlight, to be in the outdoors with my family, get some steps in. It was cool. But I was explaining to my mother, I sound like a very posh little prince, explaining to my mother that metals are actually very, very tricky and dangerous consumed in high amounts, because in our body there are cells, but rather proteins, which perform certain functions. Yes? So there's proteins in our body, right? And then there's bad metals and there's good metals, okay? So here's this protein, he's kind of just hovering, right? He's in our body, he's doing whatever, he's floating around. But he has the potential to go and be a gut cell, so he can go and heal our gut. Or he has the potential to go and form part of our skin and give us clear skin. He has the potential to go form part of our muscle and lead to muscle protein synthesis and give us gains and make us sick cunts. You know what I mean? So we have this protein. Sick cunt. Then. Okay, so we have this protein with all this potential, and then we have the good metals like zinc, like selenium, like calcium, like iron, like potassium, which can all come in here and bind to this protein. And then together, they can go and perform those functions, right? So protein, good metal comes along, molybdenum, for example, he can come and bind. Boom, and together they go form and heal your gut. They heal your skin. They give you muscles. Very cool, right? They help you mog. Or you can have this protein and he can come and bind, or a bad metal can come and bind to the protein. Bad metals everywhere: arsenic, cadmium, mercury, copper, lead, nickel, aluminum metal, everywhere, everywhere. We're consuming it in our beans, in our pesticide, or the pesticides used to spray our crops. It's in the soil now. We can't avoid it. It's in our cookware. It's a way of life, okay? So we have all these bad metals which come and bind to the same protein, but they don't go and cause a lot of them can cause damage directly to the cell, but what they can also do is just not do anything, right? So we need repair of the gut, right? Tight junctions between the cells in our gut, right? They need to be maintained and repaired. So it's tight and not loose. So toxins don't come and leak and cause leaky gut. We need it to be tight. But if this other random dude comes and binds to it, that's what zinc was supposed to do, for example. I don't know exactly. But if this random metal like cadmium comes and binds to it, that role of keeping those junctions tight is not going to get done. Okay, so the work that has to be done isn't getting done because we need to maintain this body, right? We need metabolism. There has to be energy synthesis. There has to be oxidation. There's so many reactions that have to take place in our body, and if they just don't get done, we're cooked. Okay. And the reason the bad metals can come and bind to the protein in the same way that the good metals can bind to the protein is because they all just divalent or bivalent. They all have the same charge of +2, positive charge. Calcium, Ca2 plus. Potassium, or not potassium, calcium, iron 2 plus, zinc 2 plus, selenium 2 plus. Then the bad metals also 2 plus. Mercury 2 plus, lead 2 plus, arsenic 2 plus, nickel 2 plus, copper 2 plus. They're all bivalent. So the body doesn't really know, or the protein doesn't really know, oh, is this a mercury or is it a zinc? He just kind of susses the vibe of 2 plus. You know what I'm saying? So I explained to my mom, like, it's kind of like I'm blindfolded and I'm holding my girlfriend's hand. I can kind of feel it's like a chick's hand, so I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty chill. But I don't know if it's my girlfriend or if it's her twin sister. You know what I'm saying? So, or her evil twin, you know. But I can kind of feel, oh, it's a chick hand, so at least I'm kind of in the ballpark. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know exactly who is it. That's kind of how proteins function, how our body functions. So metals are very, very difficult to work around. And why is it all of a sudden such a problem now, not 100 years ago? Beans have high nickel. Oats have high nickel. Fish have high mercury and lead. What else? I don't know. Okay, rice has high arsenic. All these foods inherently bad and toxic from the get-go? No, I don't think 1,000 years ago they were bad. Okay, I don't think your great-grandpa or your grandpa who was eating beans every day and lived to 99 or 69, I don't think the beans then were bad. But what happened is in our soil there was supposed to be certain minerals in the soil, the surface level of the earth's crust, where we were supposed to have some selenium, some zinc, some calcium, right? And our crops could naturally absorb these good minerals. But what humans went and did is we took metals from the earth's core, which we would have never come into contact with, like arsenic, like aluminium, like nickel, like chromium, all right? And we went and we mined them out of the earth's core and we made stainless steel cookware with it. Spoons and knives and forks and instant pot pots, and we cook with it, and our food leaches, or it leaches into our food, and we cook with acidic tomatoes and heat, and it just, all the metals from the stainless steel gets absorbed into our food, and we get cooked. And then we go and we make pesticides and herbicides and we spray our crops with it, and all these fat soluble toxic metals get absorbed and stored into the soil and the rice, and it's everywhere now. So we can't go and change the bean now because we've already done the damage. What we can do for the time being is go and avoid the bean. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. That's how I'm moving with motion. Let me grab my supplements before I forget. 100 micrograms of selenium today. It averages out to about 150 micrograms per day, because some days I'll take 100, some days I'll take 200. And zinc, I take 22 milligrams today, and then tomorrow I'll take 44 milligrams. So it averages out to about 33 milligrams. Next up, I'm moving over into my dry knuckles. It's winter, the air's a bit dry, but I usually get dry skin in the winter. And it's a lot better now. I'm not gonna lie, it is a lot more manageable, a lot easier to live with now. My skin isn't as dry, but still, I have dry knuckles, I have cracked lips, I have, well, now they're kind of chill, but a few days ago I got cracked lips, brittle fingernails, as in I can bite it, and my teeth can just go right through it. The skin by my fingernails, I could just pull it off. You know what I mean? It would bleed a little. My lips would crack and they'd bleed a little. Patches on my shin. Oh yeah, there's these patches on my shin where there's just no hair. I have hair on my thighs, on my legs, on my shins, whatever. And then there'll just be a random patch where there's just smooth, no hair. It's absurd. And it's symmetrical to my left shin and on my right shin. And I don't know what that is. And it's almost like I'm getting less hair on my legs. And I don't know why or how that works. It's weird. So something I am doing now if you notice, I just took supplements, right? It's very weird, or could be counterintuitive, to be taking supplements without really knowing my levels, the levels of that supplement, of that mineral, of zinc, for example, in my body. Why would I be taking zinc if I already have enough zinc? You know what I'm saying? So that leads me into my point, which is something that, look, I have this problem. I have this dry skin. I have these fingernails. I have this little bit of bleeding now and then. I don't know what it is. So that's why I'm going to take HTMA. HTMA is a hair tissue mineral analysis. So a hair test, basically. I'm going to get some lab work done. They're going to grab my hair, send it to the lab. 2 or 3 weeks later, I'm going to get the results. And it's going to tell me how much copper, how many minerals, the mineral content in my hair. So it's copper, it's going to be calcium, potassium, magnesium, sodium, zinc, selenium, molybdenum. Did I say copper, iron, whatever, all these different minerals, and also toxic metals. Could be arsenic, could be chromium, could be nickel, could be copper, whatever. It's going to give me all my results. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some blood work done. There's many different blood tests you can do, but there's 4 or 5 I want to focus on. So I want to do serum retinol, serum ferritin, probably plasma zinc, but serum zinc is also fine, and then serum copper, and maybe vitamin K. I want to know how much, the reason retinol, that's just vitamin A essentially. I don't know how much vitamin A is in my body after 2 years of avoiding it, or just not really pursuing it, I guess. Ferritin, I want to know how much iron is in me. I want to know how much zinc is in me, and I want to know how much toxic metal copper is in me. I don't think copper is healthy, sorry guys. And I want to know how much vitamin K is in me, because back again to the gut. The gut flora produces vitamin K. So I'm very interested in the gut, the flora and the microbiome in the gut. So I just want to know how's he working, how's he dealing, what's his output like, how much vitamin K is he producing. And those are my blood tests. I really want to get some blood work done, see where I lie, see if I really need to keep on. Do I have a zinc deficiency? Must I bump up my zinc, for example? Must I, do I have a vitamin A deficiency now? Do I have too much iron? Should I be trying to get more iron? Or, I just want to see what I'm working with, okay? So that's what I'm going to be doing. That's what I'm going to. Why am I stuttering? Why am I stuttering? It's cause I'm rushing to get through this video so I can go watch a horror movie. Okay. I have this issue, dry knuckles, cold toes, cold fingertips, right? All this stuff that happens in the winter. I don't know why it is. So hopefully now, if I can get a little bit more of these variables, there's a bunch of variables in this massive equation. If I can get kind of their values and, determine the constants, maybe I can start solving the equation a bit. So I just want to get a bit more information to work with. And then I've been going out. So I'm on holiday now. End of semester was a week ago. I went out a bit, okay? To be fair, so basically Wednesday night I went out to this nice place in Cape Town. Bar, pub place, pretty nice, lively environment. Everyone goes out there. It's a busy place. I liked it. Cool ambiance. There's cats just walking around in the bar or in the pub. It was random, but I liked it. Fire, cozy, cool, wood, old history, right? I liked it. My vibe. I was in this caloric cucumber deficit, trying to get shredded. I was eating in a slightly larger caloric deficit before I come home, so I can, pig it out here, get the most of my money while I'm in my parents' fridge. But I was on this cucumber caloric deficit, and I was just watching waiters bring out people's cheesy burgers with French fries and onion rings and pizza with avocado on it and bacon, and it was good, but it was very difficult to not order a burger for myself, to not snag someone's chip here and there. That was tough. The sleep really wrecks you. Like you go out, you go to bed past your bedtime, you wake up later, you wake up at the same time the following day, but worse sleep. It's difficult. It interferes with your diet. I had ice cream, I had pasta, it messed with my gut, I was farting, I felt weird, bit difficult to deal with. Completely messes with muscle protein synthesis. If you're drinking alcohol, muscle protein synthesis is cooked, bro. Your gains for the next few 48 hours, 72 hours, cooked, bro. If you like, you don't train as hard as in the gym, you don't get the same stimulus on the muscle, you're not growing as much, and all these things can sound nerdy. And if we're just trying to maximize life and enjoy it, who cares, bro? Go eat that burger, grab a scoop of ice cream now and then, eat some creamy pasta with no protein in it though, laugh a bit, stay up late, watch the World Cup, maybe have a beer. I don't drink, but if you want to have a beer, go ahead, have a beer. But if we're talking growth, whether it be in our physique or achieving our fitness goals, losing weight, if we're talking trying to study well and finally get smart after being dumb for years on end, if we're trying to be a top student, or if we're trying to pursue some other goal of ours, this is all just friction. So this is it's literally just friction. So I kind of gave myself the excuse, oh, it's holiday time, almost end of semester. Cheers to first semester medical school, whatever. Cheers to the friends we made along the way. Let's eat some ice cream. Let's go out. Let's watch the World Cup. Go South Africa. Mexico, whatever. 2-0, 3 red cards. Not a cool game, but whatever. Fine. I gave myself some slack. But if we are talking about achieving goals, this is all friction. So when I do go back in 2-3 weeks time, I'm going to be just reinforcing the basics, going back to basics, going back to what I usually do, back to my routine, saying no. Saying no, saying no is the path of least resistance to your goals, essentially. But it doesn't hurt to have some ice cream now and then with some shorties and smile a bit and go for a little stroll afterwards. So, working out without carbs beforehand isn't the same. All my days. Look, bodybuilder nutrition is skewed for the most part. It's not all about protein. It's not all about maximizing protein and eating carbs and fat and low fat and chicken breast and minimize fat, and we want protein for caloric ratio, and we want egg whites instead of egg yolks and stuff. Like, bruh, just because a chocolate bar has 20 grams of protein in it doesn't make it healthy. It's still the same weird chemical formula. It's still, let me just make sure my mic is on and it works. It's still the same weird formula. It's still the same unhealthy ingredients that are going to mess up your gut and give you poor skin. It's the same thing, just with more protein in it. Same goes for yogurt with strawberry in it. Same goes with cereal. Just because you're eating it before your workout doesn't make it any better. Okay. But I'll give them their credit. These bodybuilders carb load before the gym, and my oh my does it help with energy in the gym. And I can really go hard. I can go heavy. I can get a bunch of stimulus on the muscles. I can feel good. I can have energy throughout my workouts. But all I've been doing is just eating sourdough toast with a banana mashed on it. One piece of toast, one banana on it. Eat that like 30 minutes before my workout, 40 minutes. I feel good. That's all you really need. Working out fasted is pretty difficult. I worked out fasted on Friday, hitting legs, and it was so hard, really bad. I had to drop some weight down on my squat. It's tough. I didn't have the energy. Maybe it's also because I went out the previous night, but it's difficult. It really is difficult. So consider carb loading. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to getting stimulus on the muscle, carbs are king. They really are beneficial. Now we move over to the good and the ugly. The ugly is done. The bad is done. Let's move over to the holy goodness. And now that I'm back home, the cut's going well when your mom and dad are like, yo, bro, like, you got enough food back at, in college? Like, are you okay back there? What are you cooking? It's going well when they're concerned. I mean, bless their souls, my poor Eastern European immigrant parents. But like, if you lose any ounce of weight, it's like, oh, what's wrong with you? Like, you got worms in your belly, bro? Like, so no, that was all intentional. It was calculated. It's caloric deficit. And what I want to point out is that you are meant to be hungry. If you're trying to burn fat and lose weight and you're in a deficit, you are meant to be hungry. It's not meant to be easy per se. It's not meant to be, like, you're not supposed to get hallucinations of you eating the waiter. But you are meant to be a little challenged. You are meant to be a little hungry because your body is going into a difficult state. It's literally eating itself for energy. It's eating away fat for energy. So that's what we're going for. The good, you're supposed to kind of embrace the pain a bit. If you're in the gym and you're feeling pain, like kill me on a bicep curl or a leg extension, it's kind of good because you're getting this stimulus on the muscle. It's painful, but that's you damage it a bit so you can repair it and grow back stronger. Same for hunger and cutting and losing fat. You need to be a little uncomfortable, feel a little bit of pain so you can really tap into those fat reserves that adipose tissue melted away. You know what I'm saying? And no one asked me this, but no, no one really cares. But the key is, in my opinion, what makes cutting or just hitting your macros and staying within your caloric deficit range so much easier is just buying all your groceries for the week once. So for me, on Sunday, I go grocery shopping for the coming week. And that's that. I just eat what I bought. If I didn't buy bacon, I'm not going to eat bacon because where am I supposed to get it from? If I didn't buy chicken thighs for that week, I'm not eating it. I'm eating lean ass chicken breast. You know what I'm saying? So just buy what you're going to eat. Make sure you hit your protein. Make sure you stay within your calories, calculate it all, and just eat that food. And at the end of that, one day you might have some more protein than the other. One day you might have some more calories than the other. But for that week, you already calculated. For that week, you're hitting your goal. And that's what matters most, week in, week out. Not so much the days, but the weeks. Moving over to sleeping on the floor. If you're wondering, yo, this guy's a pig. Why am I listening to this guy? His bed isn't even made. That is my made bed. And tonight I have to make my bed so I can sleep in it. Because down there is the floor, is the carpet which I sleep on. Sleeping on the floor. I've slept on the floor for the last 2-3 years. It is amazing. I unfortunately had to start sleeping in a bed like a real human being. And since moving up to college in the beginning of the year, university, and it sucks. It's terrible for my spine, but it's kind of comfortable sometimes. The floor is king though. Last night I slept on the floor again, and I realized what I've been missing. It's so good for you. It's like a foam roller. You know when you're on a foam roller and your muscles and you're pushing down and it's hard? It's like a long-lasting foam roller effect with just less intensity, right? It's like you still have that a bit more pressure on your muscles, which just helps them almost relax a bit more and get into them and help them get rid of those knots a bit. And that, like when you wake up, you feel good. You feel good. Consider sleeping on the floor. It's really beneficial for your posture. It's, at least for me, I felt my posture's improved. It's helped my muscles recover and relax a bit more, ironically enough. And I don't get these weird pain, back aches or pain in my neck or my trap or posture thingies or discomfort in the bed. My mattress doesn't start caving in. That problem doesn't exist. Floor is king. And then what else I do is lymph taps upon waking up. So if you wake up and you go to the gym, you're good. If you wake up and you go for any form of exercise, you go for a walk, you go for a run, you do anything within waking up quickly, you're good. Don't even worry about this because you're getting moving, your body starts pumping, the gears start turning, and your lymph starts like draining and the system starts flowing, right? But if you wake up and you're like me and you go and you study right away and you're sitting down and you're stationary, you need to do some lymph taps. So there are lymph nodes here in your neck. You want to tap that a bit like that. You just want to tap on your chest. You're like King Kong. You want to go and tap your body, tap everywhere, get under your armpit. You can just search up lymph tap morning thingy on YouTube and you'll get some videos. But you just want to tap everywhere. Tap your torso, tap your chest, tap your neck a bit, tap the back of your neck, tap your traps, tap your armpit, tap your lats, tap your lower back, whatever you can get to. Tap your legs, tap the area around your groin, tap your bum, tap out your full body. And that just gets your lymph going. And you just, at least for me, I feel really, really good. I feel a bit more awake, a bit sooner in the morning. I feel good. There's less, what's the word? Circadian inertia or sleep inertia. I feel woken up a lot sooner in the morning, a lot easier. And then a hack. If you get nothing from this video, but except for this one thing, may it be this. When you go to sleep tonight, don't lie down on your pillow right away. Move it up and lie down on your arms. Lie down on your arms, or just sleep on the mattress or the floor, right? Just lie down without the pillow. It's going to be a little, it won't be as comfy as your pillow. It's going to be a bit uncomfortable, but it'll still be kind of comfy on your arms or whatever. And then once you get uncomfortable with that, once you can't really bear it any longer, unless you fall asleep, which is the goal. But if you don't fall asleep, then you just go back to your pillow. And that contrast from arms kind of uncomfortable to your comfy ass pillow makes it feel like a cloud. Like a cloud. And you literally fall asleep instantly, like poof, like a Minecraft sleep. You're kind of uncomfy on your arms and shit, like you're like, I give up, I give my pillow. Poof, it's morning. Try it out, please. Try it out and then let me know in the comments or let me know on Twitter or something how it goes. If not, just reap the benefits in silence, I guess. And then lifts. If you're going to the gym but you aren't tracking your lifts, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's the reason I think tracking lifts in the gym is so important is because you see you getting stronger, you see the weight going up as the weeks, months go by. You are progressively overloading, dude. You can just see that you're getting stronger. And if you're getting stronger, that means your body is using more it's built more fibers to get stronger. More fibers, myofibrils, more growth. Boom, muscle grow. I don't think it's directly proportionate, but stronger does correlate somewhat to hypertrophy for the most part. And then if you're like me and you hit upper lower, you kind of know. So I hit lats on Monday. I hit back on Monday, but I did the upper lat with the V bar grip. Now I need to focus on the lower lat with the wide bar grip, for example. So you just know what different muscle groups to target. If I recorded, on Monday I hit upper chest, today I'm going to try and do some dips, maybe hit a little lower, for example. If I hit the short head of my bicep on Monday, today I'm going to do the long head. Does that make sense? So we just have a lot more of a journal, a dialogue, a record of what we're doing. And we can't expect to improve what we do not track, right? And last time, if it says I did 6 reps on 40 kilogram bench, now I'm going to aim for 7. And if I get 7, it's like, hell yeah, I'm a G. I'm stronger than last time. Let's go. The only way you get that is if you have a journal and you record it. Then sleeping in a loose pajama, bro. Pajama shorts. Don't sleep in underwear, boxers that don't let your testicles breathe. Sleep in something loose that lets them breathe, essentially. Do it. Trust me. Thank me later, bruh. And if you're a girl, just hopefully these other ones are also pretty beneficial for you. Something else I've been focusing on is swallowing the frog. This is an exercise or productivity thing I learned about. Basically, you do the most daunting, difficult thing in the day first thing in the day. So if you're stupid and you want to get smart, the first thing you should be doing is studying that morning. If you're fat and you want to get thin or lean or not fat, basically, the first thing you should be doing is exercising that day. If you is like me and you trying to get some aura, the first thing you got to do is you got to make a video that day. Does that make sense? So, but I'm dumb, so I try and get the studying done first thing in the morning. But it's all just about getting the most difficult, challenging thing done right away. If you're some writer nerd, like that Pressfield dude, he says first thing he does in the morning, he goes in gyms because he's hard and he don't like it. So go hit the gym first. Get that challenge done first. The biggest goal you have to do for that day, the most high yield, high ROI, go do that first. And then just chillax for the rest of the day, go get your other stuff done. Go get your 10K steps in then go hit your gym workout if it's actually easy for you. Then you can go do the fitness goals and the Yankee and the whatever. But first thing, if you're stupid like me, you got to study. And then at the end of the day, you always want to plan tomorrow, today. You can hit any goal you want. For me, I wrote it down here. I want to hit 10K steps. I want muscle stimulus daily. I want to do Anki cards daily. I want to research and just read up on this stuff and write my own studies and articles daily. I want to work on these things daily. The only way I can accommodate for all of that is if I actually make time for it and plan it out and go into each day knowing what I'm doing each hour of the day. All right, so just planning each day is so overpowered. Speaking of overpowered, I talk about sport. Sport is so sick Because yesterday I was at a tennis tournament with my homie, and I was kind of, clowning sports, like, oh, bro, it's just video games, but IRL, because now I'm at uni, I'm a bit more of a nerd in the gym, bro. But I think sports very important because it's combining so many different aspects of life and everything that's healthy. There's a human component. You're outside, you're making friends, you're meeting new people, you're laughing, there's a competitive nature to it. You're sweating, you're detoxing in that regard. You're getting sunlight, toxins getting oxidized on the surface of your skin. You are not only are you doing zone 2 cardio like in tennis, you're at the back of the baseline, or you're in football and you're scanning the field and you're walking around. But then you transition from steady low heart rate cardio to boom sprint out of nowhere, and you raise your heart rate and you get the sprinting thingy, testosterone boost, whatever. So you're combining different forms of cardio. It's so overpowered, so overpowered. And a cardio form which I really like is jumping rope. Because everyone says 10K steps, 10K steps, and that's amazing. I like walking now, especially with my mom. But cardio, I've been doing a lot of jump rope. And when you don't play tennis for a while and you come back, the most common thing that goes is not your technique with the racket or whatever, but it's your footwork. But my footwork was really good, and my fitness was pretty up there because, or back, to the level it used to be for me at least, because I've been doing loads of jump rope, which is probably the closest thing to, tennis on your tippy toes, split step kind of vibe. So that's a pretty cool thing that's been working for me. And then abs, bro. Abs. Train abs just so you can build the ab muscle. So when you do get lean, you can have a six pack. And the ab movements that I've been doing is ab wheel. I've just been on the ab wheel. That one's really cool. I really feel in my lower abs. I like that. And then I also, this week, I started doing cable ab crunches. And I didn't know how to do it. So I asked the guy in the gym, like, yo, bro, am I doing this thing right? And he's like, yeah, just hunch your back a bit more. And I really felt it in my abs. So that was great. And I add weight to it and I aim for 6 to 8 reps as well, like any other muscle. And I train it like that. I'm going to be hitting it 2, 3 times a week. That's how I hit high, upper, and lower abs a bit. And I really feel it. And it's really painful, but it's really good. And if you have a machine for abs in your gym, just use it. But if not, you can set the cable on high and just do that. And just train abs like any other muscle group. You're going to build your abs in the gym, but it's going to get revealed in the kitchen, basically. And I've also been walking with my mom a lot, getting our steps in together now that I'm on holiday. And that's very, very nice to see. It's very nice to see loved ones putting in effort into health, into achieving fitness goals, into losing some weight, into doing some exercise and admitting, hey, I want to be a healthy grandma one day, And for me, at least, I find it really fulfilling that I can be a little bit of help to them, to my mom, for example, or for instance, in, you know, whatever way, in any capacity that I can. What? Okay, I'm kind of busy right now though, but it's okay. Speak of thy devil, it's my mother. So it's nice to just see that effort or that input. And it would be cool if I can just be of more help to them. But yeah, I've been going on walks with my mom. That's been pretty sick. Getting steps in, walking around the neighborhood, an hour walk, a 2 hour walk, an hour walk in the morning, hour walk in the afternoon. Really, really easy 10K steps. And then a low nickel cake. My mom made this cake, which is crepes, which is just egg, flour, and water, or milk or whatever. And then mascarpone, and then some strawberries, and then of course some sugar. But the sugar is kind of the only bad thing in the cake. Other than that, it's a pretty healthy-ish cake. It's low nickel. There's no chocolate. There's no weird sour sweet strip gummies on it. There's no Jaffa cakes. There's no weird preservatives. It's all healthy. It's all somewhat natural, homemade for the most part. I have no problem eating that. So if you are going to eat some stuff, at least let it be vanilla-y. At least let it be handmade, homemade, somewhat healthy. At least may it be low nickel. At least may it be natural ingredients. Don't go eat some weird artificial brownie that lasts 25 weeks in the sun. Don't go eat sweets and candy, but eat, quality ingredients. Like I wrote it down: mascarpone, flour, water, egg, strawberries, and then sugar. But if you get coconut sugar, it's not as bad. If you make your own vanilla sugar, it's not as bad. Or it doesn't cause as much inflammation to the gut as, white snowflake sugar would. And then a shower head filter. You don't know how dirty your shower head water is until you get a filter. All the chloride, all the chlorine, all the fluoride in there that's damaging your skin. Your skin is an organ that absorbs everything it comes into contact with. So if you're putting all these heavy metals from your water onto your body, it is absorbing it, causing damage to not only to your skin, but every other cellular reaction in your body. So do yourself a favor and please get yourself a shower head filter. I have no links for you, bro. Just search it on Amazon and get whatever you can. Get rid of the chlorine, get rid of the fluoride. Booyakasha. Then I only have a few minutes left, so I really do apologize for rushing this ending, but I doubt that anyone's actually going to make it to this video. So I'm just going to quickly skip over or just breeze over some thoughts that I have. And that is that detox shouldn't be pretty. Detox isn't some 1 week, 2 week challenge where you just eat fruit every day, or you just drink some green matcha smoothie, or you just drink some celery juice, or some ginger shot, or a beetroot fucking detox saliva elixir thingy with the saliva of a pigeon and the toe of a baby goat. You know what I'm saying? It's not some weird spell casting shit. Detox is slow and steady, 2-year period. Detox is that's detox. Detox is getting a insanely yucky cyst on your nose. Detox is taking a shit that's so big it ruptures your asshole and you bleed a little. That's detox. Detox is literally getting rid of your blood so you can get rid of the toxins in your blood. Through donation, of course, but that is detox. Detox is sweating like sulfide and smelling like piss. Detox is phlegm and mucus and yucky in the last 2 years, and it's breakouts in your skin, and it's diarrhea, and it's constipation, and it's taking zeolite and charcoal and getting rid of heavy metals, and it's strict dieting, and it's no, I won't take this food which I know causes inflammation, like a tomato nightshade or an aubergine eggplant, all these weird heavy metal intoxicated fish with mercury and lead and all these free radical disgusting polyphenol rich whatever's, you know what I'm saying? That's detox. And then music, if you want to listen to music but you don't like all the modern day programming like rap and drugs and sex in it, try listening to music in another language that you don't understand, like French, like Spanish, like Serbian, like Dutch or whatever. Switch it up, listen to different things that you barely understand. And there's no real programming there, but there's still words, so it can still kind of feel like ménage toi, ménage toi, ménage toi. So it can still sound pretty cool, pretty fun, pretty like music still, you know. So you still get some stimulation from it. And then fiber could low-key be insane because fiber gels and causes fermentation in the gut, so that's going to slow down digestion. And if you combine that with protein, slow digestion, you could low-key get shredded quick, combining fiber and protein. So I'm doing a lot more research into fiber and seeing how we can improve our gut, get clear skin, and get shredded with it, basically, boys and girls. Systems are really important. What I'm going to be doing is write, log, journal daily. Friday, I'll write out all my stuff for these videos, and then Saturday, Sunday, I'll record it. So I don't have to do it all in one day on Monday, last minute. I need a better system. When it comes to studying, I can literally get, same for walking and jump rope, right? You need to know when you're going to jump rope, before a meal and after the meal. You need to know when you're going to walk. First thing in the morning with my mom, in the afternoon after dinner with my mom and dad. That's how you hit your steps. That's how you implement new things, right? So if I'm going to jump rope, it's going to be for 10 minutes after my study session, which I do every morning. Or it's going to be whenever I go to the bathroom, just 100 skips. So that's how you actually like implement new things. You need to habit stack it, and you need to form it part of the system. The system is most important. I can get better marks than these nerds smarter than me because I'm using a better system called Anki. It has this overpowered algorithm for memorizing, for learning flashcards. I put minimal effort into getting the resources. I download a deck from Reddit. I just have to find the cards and pick the cards I want to study, which takes some time. But from then on out, it's an overpowered algorithm and minimal effort put into a deck, into getting the resources. So I have a way better system than people way smarter than me, but I'll get better results because of my system. Moving forward, I want to get my blood test done. I might be consuming some more dairy. I have been consuming a lot of dairy these last few days, and my nails are a lot harder already. So it might be something to do with calcium. I want a bit more calcium, and I want a bit more bacteria from yogurt and from kefir. But no milk though, because I think the lactose is still a bit of a big step for me now. And I've been feeling really good on small, frequent meals throughout the day, about 5 throughout the day, instead of just a big lunch and a big dinner. My energy is a lot more stable. Muscle protein synthesis getting spiked a few more times throughout the day. I feel good. I can feel like I'm on the move all the time. I can walk, I can jump rope, I can run up a flight of stairs, I can do some push-ups when I need to, I can go to the gym. I'm quite flexible with stable energy. I like that. And then cravings. I think cheat meals are a lot better than a cheat day. If you do happen to go out one night and they made pasta for you and they put it on a plate with you on, for you, and they put a piece of basil on it, don't be a dick. Just eat it and say cheese afterwards, Then tomorrow you can kind of rectify it, go maybe 2,000 steps, 3,000 steps extra, maybe eat some chicken breast instead of some ground beef, keep the calories a bit low the following day. But just, we can work these things out. So I don't have to dream about eating the waiter, give me pizza, give me pizza, give me pizza. You just become a lot more human and you can work through it. You can work around cravings more. Because when I want to do, I really have to go. When I've been coming, before I came home, all I was craving some fat, juicy sausage on a grill. That's like maybe making a hot dog with some mustard on it. I could have very easily worked that into my calories while at university. I could have very easily made that myself. Bought the sausage myself. Maybe not grilled it as well as my dad, for example, but I could have had that nice, juicy, fatty sausage on my own and satisfy that craving on my own. And same for cake. Like, you're not like a fiend to blueberry muffins when someone bakes it now. You don't have to go and eat 5 blueberry muffins because you haven't had them in 5 years. But if you have something sweet every now and then, you can kind of deal with cravings a lot better. That's the video. I really have to go and watch this movie now. Please don't blame me. It's not my baby. I might be white, but my hair's still wavy. I'm just lazy, catching the bag like I'm Tom Brady. But they put me on a quarterback. Nah, that's a quarter Mac. Nah, that's a quarter snack. I'm white, but my soul, it's a quarter black. But my bars, man, they a quarter whack. That's the video. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments or check my link in the description to my Twitter. These are weekly updates. Twitter is daily updates, basically. And that's been me, your boy Luca. Peace out. Good luck with your life. God bless. Adios.